AskReddit by Dale C00 per. What is an overhyped skill people boast about having? Being able to function on little sleep. This. As an insomniac, I wouldn't wish that ability on anyone. It's miserable, draining, and bad for you. It's like boasting that you're gonna fuck your health up faster. Drinking. There's always a bigger fish. I got up to just over 1L of vodka a day and that was my limit. Met a guy who would drink 2L a day as well as beers. Alcohol addiction is no joke. Gambling. They all seem to break even at the very worst. Casinos don't run on winners. Only people I know who gamble with a profit are small-time sports bettors and poker players. Working 60+ hours a week. Okay, if you own your business and or you love your work, that's cool, I get it. If you work for last name and amp, last names is, and you're sacrificing your life to make someone else money, you're just a mug. Healthcare workers routinely work 60+ hours. As a medical trainee, the cap on weekly hours is set at 80 hours. Reading other people. Most of the people I've heard brag that they're good at reading people, knowing right away what kind of person they are based on their mannerisms and speech, get screwed over by people who manipulated them. Sure, you can make some inferences based off of those things, but it's just not possible to know what goes on in another person's head. A lot of people are very good at hiding their shitty qualities and convincing you they are the opposite of what they are. My friend has stated in the past he's really good at reading the room. I witnessed some of the examples he gave. He was completely off. He forgets that he's 95% pure anxiety. He was projecting. Every time. An MBA. Source: have MBA. Was it worth it? Seems like most successful people in my line of work just started working after business undergrad and never looked back. Seems like an expensive holiday, or if you want to explore different industries to switch over to or to find a high earning spouse. Chess. People use chess as an overall indicator of intelligence, like if you're good at chess you're naturally a genius. But chess utilizes memory and strategic thinking, which while good skills to have are not complete indicators of intelligence. In reality, being good at chess just means you're good at chess. Paul Morphy, best chess player in the world at his prime, once said the ability to play chess is the sign of a gentleman. The ability to play chess well is the sign of a life wasted. I wouldn't call it a skill per se, but functioning in 4 hours of sleep a day, you're not as tired as I am. Bruh, I can be tired af regardless if you slept for 4 hours or more, or less. Just because I don't kill myself via lack of sleep, anymore at least, doesn't mean I'm not tired. As far as functioning on 4 hours, no, you're not functioning, you're zombieing your way through the day. Don't pretend it's anything else, lol. I have it when people get to keep sleep. A co-worker of mine yelled at me when I talked about feeling tired due to depression. Her reasoning is that because I don't have children I don't even understand what being tired is. During that period I was feeling so exhausted that if my breath wouldn't have been automatic I'm sure I would have choked to death. Anyways, screw people who get to keep being tired. Driving. Everyone says they are a good driver. But you look at them and they text and drive, speed, roll through stop signs, etc. I knew a guy who is a peace office, Department of Transportation officer, who took the cop driving course, as he calls it. He says he is allowed to text and drive now, and he's a way better driver than everyone else. My brother doesn't have a license, taken away due to unpaid fines, so no way can my brother be a better driver than him. Then he asks him to back the trailer every time they go camping. Swerves into oncoming traffic while texting repeatedly. Just absolutely the worst person I've ever seen behind the wheel. Being mature. If you're mature, you shouldn't have to say it. You would just be mature enough to know that you shouldn't say it. The people who try to be the most mature are the most childish. A childish person will try too hard to convince others that they don't play with Lego. A mature person will show off their UX Millennium Falcon. Perfect pitch. Like, dude, I get it. You're special. Now stop telling me what key my microwave is in. Workaholic. Being able to predict the weather. An old man blew through a red light 7 years ago and hit me while crossing an intersection. Now I can tell by a throbbing pain in my knee that it's going to storm, or I can just look at my weather app. Multitasking. It actually slows you down and makes you less efficient overall. It's more efficient to put all your focus on one task at a time. I'm guilty of multitasking, but I'm not gonna pretend it's a superpower. I do it to keep from getting bored. I think multitasking is more about how efficiently you can move from task to task while maintaining focus on the correct and most efficient next step. If you can do a few things at once, that's great, but how often are you thinking to yourself, what am I doing again? Self-defense. Every overweight boomer thinks they would become Rambo if they had a chance to use their gun. TBH, that does happen sometimes with ex-military or old pro boxers in the news, but I agree, it's not the norm. But you shouldn't judge someone's ability to fight on their age. Also, a lot of people with guns glorify their training no matter their age. My cousin is an example of this. He's constantly flashing his gun and daydreaming about a home invasion with a legal murder on his end. How much spice you can handle. I mean, I'm probably Guild Navigator good, but maybe not Reverend Mother good. Wait. How little sleep they can function on. Their Myers-Briggs, or DISC, or whatever personality tests results. The astrology of psychology. Their work ethic. I.e. working over their 8-hour day, so many days in a row, coming in super early or staying late every day. This is not a badge of honor to me. It's the inability to set a personal boundary. Will I work super hard during my allotted hour? You bet. Will I regularly stay past those hours? Nope. If they need more work done, they can hire more people or staff up with the ones they have. Working overtime is actually a lack of work ethic. People who do this are setting a bad example and contributing to a work environment where other people feel guilty for not staying late. Also, it means they are either unable to manage their workload on time or are working with unrealistic productivity expectations. Getting deals. The one person I knew who bragged about getting deals was a low-grade narcissist talking you owe exactly the same deals as everyone else. How much time people devote to their jobs. People that brag endlessly about how hard they work and how much extra hours they put in are just communicating to me that they are the bigger sucker in the company and easier to exploit than the average person. Unless you got equity in the business or make great overtime and bonuses, there isn't much incentive to devote excess time to work if you are salaried. I enjoy my job, but I don't work excessive hours because there isn't much financial incentive for me to do so. I get paid regardless. I work to live, not live to work. I brag about how I only work 2 hours and play games on my phone rest of the time. Going to probably get hate for this, but basic survival skills. Don't get me wrong, they are good skills to have for many reasons. But people who possess these skills act like they are most insanely superior people on this planet and everyone else is a sucker and a loser. The thing is, most people will never have any kind of use for those skills unless they go on long hikes. Even in emergency situations there are probably many kinds of skills and people that are needed. It's not just about how to make fire using 2 sticks. People not knowing what a skill is. Spelling. You also partake in the dark arts of hood witchcraft. Number of followers on socials. Pretending to be all entitled and shit. threatening to shitpost hotels if they don't get free sweets.